All right, welcome back to the episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. As always, I'm Alex, got Chris, got Adam down there. We are jumping into the way too early 2024 Stanley Cup predictions on what we think is going to happen, who's going to take home Lord Stanley next season. Fresh off the heels of Vegas being purely just dominant in the finals against the Florida Panthers. Came out that the Florida Panthers were playing half dead, apparently, just missing organs, all kinds of crazy stuff. Broken sternums, a broken foot, dislocated shoulders, torn labrums, all kinds of injuries. So maybe that played a factor, but Vegas just looked like they were unstoppable this finals. We're going to talk about who we think is going to do this next year, who's going to hoist the trophy. But before we do that, if you don't mind just going down, commenting, interacting with the video, sharing it, subscribing to us. We're trying to make a climb for trying to hit the 300 mark on our subscribers. So if you don't mind, just please indulge us a little bit. It's free to you, real quick and easy. But anyways, hit us up in the comments what you think is going to happen next season. So let's just jump right into it. Who we think is going to take home the trophy next season? Or is anybody thinking that Vegas is just going to repeat?
Nah, I don't think it's going to be Vegas repeating. It just feels like the NHL is actually a great organization in the sense where you don't really have like a dynasty going on right now. Like Tampa for a moment over the last 7 years looked so good that they were there, but I feel like it's a clean slate. You know, Colorado was a great team last year. Everybody had a lot of confidence in them. Now Vegas, so maybe you need to be picking in that division because those two are the last two winners.
Yeah.
But we've talked a lot about the Metropolitan being such a dominant conference. There's so many great teams over there. So, I think had anybody, I bet the money was heavy on Boston coming into the postseason.
Yeah.
It had to be.
I mean, you feel like it had to be. But I do want to take a moment just to remind everybody that I did take a moment when we were doing our playoff video and say, doesn't this feel like the Habs and the Tampa Bay Lightning from a couple years ago when they got to the finals and the Habs were having this magical run like Florida was.
Oh, and then just got dominated. The luck finally ran out.
I should have been more confident in that. I had the feeling, and I should just.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Panthers' luck did run out.
They
great run for them, though.
They did not look good though in that series.
No, they did not. It didn't look good at all. Goalie fell apart after having almost a historic run through the postseason. But
the firepower of Vegas was just really impressive.
Yeah, Vegas was just. They looked unstoppable. Like passes were just beautifully connecting. The fact every aspect of the game they were on.
So this should come as no surprise. 2024 Stanley Cup odds from Caesar Sportsbook. Vegas is the favorite. Colorado right there in second. Not
a surprise to me. I think Colorado exited way too early from what from what expectations were. I mean, hell. This time last year, when we did the way too early, I said Colorado was going to win it this year. So,
it was Florida Panthers 3, Carolina Hurricanes 4. No reason to waste your money on that. Edmonton Oilers 5, tie for 4, and then actually Jersey also all have 1,200 odds. So tie for fourth best odds between Hurricanes, Oilers, Devils. Bruins fall in there, Dallas up here. Toronto, and then Rangers, Lightning. I'm surprised the Lightning are down to plus 2,000 now, so that's a little bit of a surprise. But the absolute worst odds, the Anaheim Ducks.
Yep.
So
Ducks.
Nobody want to take them?
Nope.
Not doing it.
It was the Western Conference Finals that Dallas made, right, this past year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of a surprise.
To them, yes.
Yeah, for them.
But I think
and hey, at least you got eliminated by the Cup winner.
Yeah.
The eventual champion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna surprise some people here. I'm taking the New York Rangers for my way too early. I feel like if they can keep Kane and the way his name is the goalie that was playing so good.
Igor.
Yeah. I feel like that combination, you finally have kind of like even though he's older, an all-star, a veteran, a leader, a guy that, has a cup. So he's got an opportunity to kind of lead that young Rangers team into the postseason next season. Maybe they add a piece or something to really, up the scoring, but they have a great young goalie, and I think that's just a good recipe for success.
I think I'm leaning towards the Devils.
Ooh.
I think the Devils got a good young team. They got a lot of talent there. Again, I think that's the only thing that could hurt them come the postseason. It just seems the teams that have guys that have been there seem to do better. Not to saying that the Devils don't have one or two guys that have some playoff experience, but they are a younger team. But I like what they got going on. They have They have shown that they can compete at the higher levels and can compete in the playoffs.
Yeah, there's actually I was reading an article today about how the Devils, I forget the guy's name, horrible, but I think he's sort of writing stuff down. But got traded from Pittsburgh and all these moves happening, and how the Devils just put together a great team and all that stuff kind of towards the middle of the season. Wouldn't be surprised to see them make a deep run next year again. Or not again, but deeper than they did this year. Because, they just, like I was saying in one of the earlier videos for the earlier in the postseason when we were talking about the playoffs, about how I thought New Jersey was that team that got hot and then cooled down at the right time. They could get hot again. It just didn't happen. But, they had a hell of a run during the middle of the season this past season. So, hopefully they can repeat some of that success next year, but just make it a little bit more sustained. Because now they've been there, done that kind of thing. They've gotten those cobwebs free.
Yeah, I think I'm with Adam there a little bit. Like, it's a lot easier when you have so much youth to kind of say, hey, let's run at it next year. Like,
yeah.
Different than...
You know what it feels like now? That hype's kind of, the jitterness is kind of gone.
Yeah.
Jitters.
Yeah, you've been there, finally.
Yeah.
Like, when you're coming back.
To be honest, I'm surprised you didn't go with your Mans.
The Oilers are
listen,
and
you
love them, but they got to figure out how to not give up 5 goals a game. And so,
yeah.
Until they
Davis can only do so much for you.
Connor can score 3 a game, but Jesus, when you give up 5, you're going to lose all of them. So I think the Oilers have an elite offensive side of the puck, but they have got to get better on the defensive end, and especially at goaltender. I think just simply at goaltender, making a change there this year will give the Oilers a better chance. But that's kind of the reason I went with the Rangers. Honestly, is just because I have faith in their goaltender. I have faith in them getting better offensively as well.
Yeah. You can call me a homer, but I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on this one. I really do.
They are 4,000, so we're gonna need to go to Cherokee some weekend.
They're down there, but
put some money.
There's just
some things going
on. When you change up the president of hockey operations, the GM, the assistant GM, you go out and get Toronto's GM to be the
new guy,
one of the new guys in charge. I think he was the president. They got him. It's just Pittsburgh has an act of when they change things up the next year,
things seem to go
a little bit better. Getting a whole new front office is going to be in because, like I was talking about, the guy that we traded to New Jersey ended up going on having a hell of a year. So it's one of those things like a lot of these moves that we made this year ended up coming to bite us in the ass. So hopefully we get some new fresh faces in the front office that aren't going to do anything stupid like that. I think that's good. The new leadership's going to get us going in the right direction. Cap space is clearing up a ton. Last I saw it was earlier today. I think it was close to $20 million they're about to have cleared up. You got Crosby, Malkin, and Letang who are getting older. Not much longer left in their careers, just being honest. So hopefully they're having that conversation of kind of like, hey, let's go.
If we want one
more, we're going to have to do it sooner than later, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't have another 3 years.
Yeah. You got Gensel on the second line. Hopefully we get some more depth, because me and Chris were talking revisiting the 16-17 back-to-back wins, because Kessel, who was on that team, just now picked up his 3rd cup with Vegas, and we're talking about how the success Pittsburgh had those 2 years was because all the way down to even the 3rd line, you had Hagelin, Bonino, and Kessel, who were first line guys on any other team at the time. So it's you had that extreme depth of skaters, and so you've got to try to recreate that success. Little weird thing is we won the Cup in the 08-09 season. 7 years later, we won the 15-16, went back-to-back 16-17. It's now 7 years later again. It's going to be the 23-24. So hopefully the rule of 7 can repeat.
And we
can have a pattern of 7-1-7.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'd be a cool little thing to have. But I think there's enough moving pieces in Pittsburgh this offseason that the chance of them falling into the right spot is there.
Yep.
And so I'm just hoping for a deep run from those guys.
I just feel like Pittsburgh has to get younger.
That is the
biggest thing for Pittsburgh right now. Is I think when we were talking about it, their average age is 29.8. It was the oldest of the league.
They're the oldest.
And that's just, I hate to say it, but that's part of the grind of a hockey season, to put yourself into position to have home field advantage in the playoffs is, you can't have a bunch of old guys skating around the whole season. So I agree with you. The depth, the youth need to be a center point for Pittsburgh.
They've also got to figure out the goalie problem.
I was going to ask what
but both goalies are I think their free agency or not. They're not under contract for next season. So
they're on the
perfect opportunity for Pittsburgh to go out and
sign somebody.
Sign somebody new, start over fresh, try to make a trade for somebody who's a little more proven. Do whatever you got to do. But
so they're on
the door's open for they can do basically like a half rebuild if they really wanted to this year.
And unlike Edmonton, I actually think they would go get a new goalie.
Yeah.
So
what is
shots at the Oilers? Sorry.
What is your thoughts on the Bruins now after the record-setting regular season wins? Right.
Yeah. So the Bruins. I think they're going to make another deep run.
They're going in the long way.
That's if they've got. You can go back and watch I think we did Pittsburgh and Boston video of keys to the offseason for them since they got eliminated so early. Pittsburgh didn't even make the playoffs, but when Boston got eliminated, we did the keys to success for the offseason. And if you go back and watch that video, one of my biggest things about Boston is you've got Patrice Bergeron, who's longtime captain, big veteran, big-time dude in the world of hockey that, from last I checked, hasn't said he's coming back next year. So that's a huge loss if he doesn't come back. And I think close to 9 guys or something like that are free agents this offseason.
I guess do you think they can repeat the dominance that they had this year?
No.
Maybe not with setting another 63-plus win season.
If they brought everything back exactly the same, I think they'd have another dominant run. But I don't think they'd be. They might make it to the second or third round, but I don't think it's going to be cup worthy. Because like we've talked about, just that side of in the Eastern Conference, man, it's brutal.
Yeah, I'd say.
You won all those games, but you still had to fight tooth and nail in a lot of those games.
Yeah,
you got beat up.
Which a little credit to the Bruins now, with Florida having their run and playing for the Cup. It is a credit to the Bruins to take that games, to 7 games. And
it
was a great series.
It was kind of funny to watch the narrative around the Panthers go from how they beat the Bruins to how did the Bruins win 3 games on the Panthers?
Yeah.
Because the Panthers went on that massive, just magical run. And credit, another thing, at least the team that knocked you out was the team in the finals.
Yeah.
So
I feel like the Bruins actually are in a better spot than most people think. Because you're sitting there with 9 or so free agents. Now you can say, okay, I want to get this person back. I want to get that person back. I can shop a little bit. You're not actually tied down to contracts.
Yeah.
It's shit, we're here, but we don't know what's going to take us to the next level. What's actually going to get us to the Cup.
You got room to work some things out.
And it reflects that actually in their odds. They're only the 7th best odds, which for a team that just set a blazing, NHL record in their first round exit.
63 wins in a regular season in that though.
63 or 64, I can't remember what
I think it was 63, I think you're right.
But they set a record for the most wins in a season.
Yeah.
But that doesn't Vegas certainly doesn't reflect confidence in them putting them in their 7th best odds in my opinion. But
good thing on Vegas too is if you go back and just look at all the things they've done. Expansion team, first year in the league, they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. 6 years later, in their 6th season, so technically 5 seasons later, however you want to do the math on that, but in their 6th season of existence, they come in and win the Cup. And there's actually an old quote from the Vegas front office when they first got established. They were and I think it was their actual owner that said this, within 6 years he wanted to win the Stanley Cup, and it's here we are, right here on year 6, she did it. Congrats to them boys, and magical run they've got.
I will say I don't think this is the end for Vegas either.
It's not. They've established themselves as a dominant team.
I think there's a chance Vegas wins more cups within the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So whether that's one more or multiple more cups, so I think they have a really good position to make a run. Play a little fun here. I got the 3,000 plus odds, so this is basically half the league and down. Taking a real deep sleeper for somebody that does want to put a little cash on it.
I'm going with Pittsburgh. They're in that.
They're
in that field already.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to say that. So.
If it's not Pittsburgh though, and you had to go with the plus 3,000 or lower, give me the full list. Go through.
No, I'm going to take the Kraken. I like the chance on the team.
The Kraken has shown improvement over the past couple of years. I like that.
For year 2, you make the playoffs. Last year was their rookie year in the league.
Yeah.
Year 2, you make the playoffs.
And
year 3, why couldn't you improve on doing the same thing?
I think some of the advantage that Vegas showed as the other expansion team was as you actually develop your organization, you have an opportunity to go through a couple free agencies and bring in some people that you want to have. So that's why I like the Kraken already making the playoffs and making a run. Can give. I mean, I think that's a solid plus 3,500 bet.
That's where I was going, was Kraken.
Really? Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Capitals. As much as I hate it, I feel like they might be trying to do something here to get another push, because I mean they're still relatively fresh off a cup, and now they've gone way downhill, and we don't know how much longer he's got either. So it might be one of those things where
isn't he like 38?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
just like they might be they might make some crazy moves this offseason to like
give
him the best team they possibly can for his last couple of years.
Yeah,
is he on the one more? Is he on the year to year? Like I may or may not.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where he's like, I gotta see how I feel after the 2 months of vacation I get.
Yeah, he's the Brett Favre of NHL right
now. We don't know. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him try to make some bunch of moves. To surround him with some young talent.
I was definitely kind of circling that name too. Nashville's down here, Pittsburgh's down here. The Calgary Flames honestly might not be bad one either.
Calgary was kind of jumping off to me, and so was the Islanders. I mean, both those teams I feel like are just
the Ducks.
No, not the Ducks.
No,
I feel like
the Coyotes.
I feel like the Islanders and the Flames are just like maybe a couple moves away from really jumping over that hill and getting it going.
So who do you think finishes dead last next year? We'll do that.
I'm gonna go with Arizona just because of all the shit they've got going on. The front office is gonna be distracted as fuck because they don't even know where they're gonna be living week to week, basically. I'm gonna go with Arizona, man, because I mean just the shit storm that they've got brewing down there, dude.
Yeah,
and that's a lot to try to play through and just ignore and focus on the game.
So y'all going? All right, y'all both going Arizona?
Yeah,
Chris.
Yeah,
I'll go with the Ducks. I'll go with Anaheim finishing dead last.
Yeah, okay. I mean they're picking. What are they picking? Third in the draft this year. They should have gotten the first, but
Chicago got it because
so
tampering. We got a video on that too. If it was rigged or not, go check that out.
Yeah, Connor Bedard. So
yeah, it's on that NBA video is rigged too.
Yeah, which you're about to see tomorrow night. So. All right, well, as always, hit us in the comments. Let us know who you think is going to win the 2024 Stanley Cup, and we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.